Okay, good morning, everybody. We are grateful that you are all here this morning. We're grateful for these Tuesday through Friday, every single week for the rest of the year trainings at 7 a.m. Wake up to Texit Coin. Put Texit Coin on your mind and let the next 24 hours bless you with massive abundance from this company. Guys, there's so many exciting things going on. I signed my big brother up today, and I am fired up about that one. If anybody knows my history and knows what that means, it is he's one of the best network marketing builders in the world and breaks records all the time. And he decided to join me today. So I really, really love that. So excited about that. Those that were back in the Team National days know exactly what I'm talking about. Okay, we're going to have some great stuff going on today, some great training. Again, if you have anybody newer to crypto, today's their day because we're going to put some real basic stuff out there. But for all of us that have been in this for a long time, this is going to be great, great stuff. We're going to have a good time. We're going to watch a couple videos. They're just like 3 to 5 minute videos each, and then I got some stuff put together. So let's have a great time today. I will be posting later a whole bunch of stuff from today's training to help people out. And so again, still work on texting people, work on getting them on here. It's not too late for them to get on here. Without further ado, I want to take just a couple of minutes this morning for something really, really important. And that really, really important announcement is going to come from a Texas Ranger out of California, Mr. Bill Cook. Mr. Bill Cook, could you unmute and do your thing, please?
Good morning. Good morning to everyone. It's a nice double digits, 44 people on the call. And it's really a double accomplishment today. First, I want to talk about the leader, the coach, the motivator, the friend to everyone, and that's Thomas. He works the hardest to put together a team to help build a team and stick together. So the first thing I want to do is congratulate Thomas for all of his efforts, his support. And those that may not know, but he doesn't sleep much. He's motivated, and he'll get up at 2 o'clock in the morning or 3 o'clock in the morning to be a service to the passion that he has. And through his coaching and training and inspiration, we brought on a friend of mine by the name of Mancone Sanacone, otherwise known as AJ, which if you were in a room, he's just kind of a quiet guy. Just moves along quietly and gracefully, but he's really a very accomplished person. He's humble, moral, credible, and most of all, he's an advocate and a servant of giving and helping and assisting people for a better life, not only here in the United States, but around the globe. Speaks multiple languages and carries Texit Coin as a tool to help change people's lives. And he's built a phenomenal organization over the last few months. And so and you don't have to take my word. Harvard University wrote a wonderful article on AJ and his passion and his giving. And so with further ado, we have Mancone Sanacone, or AJ, on the line, and I want to congratulate him for all of his efforts to become a newest Texas Ranger, which, going back to Thomas here, we have Andrew, we have Sarah, we have Corey, we have Shar, we have AJ. And so the number of Texas Rangers that have come up has been a blessing to both the individual and to Thomas. So with kudos, AJ, if you'd like to say something, we'd love to hear from the quiet guy that moves through the room.
you.
Way to
Thank,
go, AJ.
yeah, thank you, Bill, for your support and appreciate you very much. Also, Thomas, you are so awesome by helping us behind the scene. Work so hard, try answer every question that the team have. Especially trying to build the team around the world is not that it's so hard, right? But with your help, I'm appreciate very much giving the information to the team that they need help. I'm helping the team over in Southeast Asia, in India, and in and especially in Bangladesh. They're coming very strong. But before I go to there, I would like to say thank you to Bill Cook. He's awesome leader, always helping me, uh, giving me support everywhere. He's like my mentor and my coach in all the different aspects of life, not just in crypto and not just in network marketing, but in everything. He's you know there with any event with our family that we have. He's always come to give us support and appreciate that very much
Thank
from
you.
Bill Cook. Yes. And building the team in Bangladesh is not that easy. So, but the language
We're learning.
differences and but we have a lot of great leaders coming in from there. Over like 100 leaders. So we have Zoom meeting every morning. Over 100 people coming in. I'm trying to help them with all the information from Texit, coming from Thomas and Bill. That's really helpful. But the team there, they explode like crazy. So every week they're putting in over 100 people every week coming in from
Fantastic.
Bangladesh. So they will get to 50,000 that I think the Texit coin assigned, right? 10%. So 50,000 from Southeast Asia. They will catching up with Australian and New Zealand. Even though I originally from Australia, I have a few team members from Australia as well, from Laos and Thailand, and but Bangladesh they're coming really strong, and now they are expand to Dubai, Malaysia, Indonesia, and now back to US. So we have Bangladesh people in US are coming very strong. So without Thomas and Bill help, this cannot be happening because I'm very new to Texas, but at the same time, with your in feeding the information and all that is really helpful. So I appreciate that very much.
Absolutely. AJ, thank you so much. He has absolutely built enormous teams in everything that I've ever been in with him. We've had a lot of fun and learned a lot together, and you laughed and cried and prayed and all that stuff together. So I just appreciate your leadership. I watch your leadership. I'm learning from you because I've never had an international team, so I'm trying my best to plug into to the team over there. And I'm trying to, when I first met a bunch of those folks, that was when everybody was heading to Thailand. And I was getting bombarded as an only leader left in the United States. Me and Andrea were just lifting our hands up in the air, each day. And so the first time I met him, I just was too all over the place. And then all of your leaders, we got on a couple Zooms, and I'm learning how to help you a little bit, but you're doing it all. So you are just a tremendous leader. You get all of the credit for all of what you've done. I know you threw some of that back at me and Bill, but me and Bill just sit back and watch you do amazing things.
Yeah.
So thank you for that. And thank you for making my life easy all the time in other things that we're in. He's so organized that man, we just follow his lead on organization. It's pretty amazing.
And I just want to add, I'm flying out to Laos by the end on the Thanksgiving Day
Oh, nice.
to Laos and trying to build a team of Lao people and from Thailand as well. So that's what my goal is, to bring Texit coin to help the people in especially underdeveloped country, and like $4 or $5 a day mean a lot. If you
Yeah.
compare to the US, like like a month of $100 is like so amazing for the people out there. That is just like like their income for the whole month.
Right.
So that's
$100
amazing. But anyway, so the team are coming strong. So we are putting like 200 people a week coming in. So that goal is to have like 5,000 by February.
Wow. Wow. Yeah, and they keep posting every day, over 100 people on every Zoom. It's just awesome. It's incredible. And you are awesome and incredible. And
Well,
and guys, when we were listening off Texas Rangers, we got to remember we got Miss Shar. Miss
yeah.
Shar Prendergast. I don't want to ever forget anybody's names. We're gonna do that. If you want to be a Texas Ranger like AJ just accomplished, and if you also want to connect with anything that he's building and whatnot, plug into the WhatsApp stream or whatnot. He is an admin on there, and we will connect anybody that we can serve. We're all about serving the whole entire team. And AJ is a master at that for sure. So we're really really excited to welcome you to the fold. If you want to be a Texas Ranger, get with your above Texas Ranger directly and tell them that, and have them put together have them put together the plan for you, because you want to do it sooner or later, because sooner than later, and you want to get your everything up to par sooner than later. Why? Because they will stop putting in Texas Rangers at some point. We were told that yesterday. So, and maybe they won't, but I do believe that they're building a huge team, and you all know that we're going to sell out before the end of 2026, in my opinion, on this round, right? On this round. So we'll talk about more about that later. Today is a special training. Bill, I want to say thank you. AJ, thank you. I want to also say big congratulations to Shar and Corey for the last couple of days' announcements. And with that, I'm going to get into today's training as a respecter of time. So let me share screen with you all. And if everybody could let people in that are co-hosts, that would be great. So let's see what this guy put together for you today. Let me do this. Let me go with this. Okay. So I put together a little bit of a glossary for you guys, and with a little bit of help from some of the trainings that we've had before. And so let's just talk about a little bit about that. Here are some foundational crypto terms and what they mean. Cryptocurrency, a form of digital and virtual currency that uses cryptography for security and typically operates independently of a central bank. Okay. Blockchain, a distributed ledger, an open ledger of technology where transactions are recorded in blocks and linked together, making tampering difficult. So, blockchain. Okay. Wallet, a digital place, software, hardware where you store your crypto keys, which allow you to access and spend your crypto. And yes, we will post these Matter of fact, yeah, we'll get them posted so everybody can find them and access them. Exchange. What is an exchange? A platform where you can buy, sell, and trade cryptocurrency. What is an altcoin? Any cryptocurrency other than Bitcoin. My dogs are coming to say hi, guys. So you know what's so beautiful about Texit Coin? We get a build from home, and we can pet our dogs while doing a training. Because this one's she's nudging her nose right on in. Token, a unit of value issued by a project built on an existing blockchain, for example, on Ethereum. So when we talk about token, you will hear a lot more about token here coming soon with phase 2. Why is that? Because we will have that second layer tokening for cities and fairs and things like that. And Bobby has a whole bunch of written and video material on that. But plug in on Tuesdays to hear him talk about these next phases, because Tuesdays is just for you. It's for you, the miner. It's absolutely amazing. Decentralized finance, DeFi. You hear the word DeFi all the time. For the longest times, I'm going, what is DeFi? What is DeFi? Financial applications built on blockchain that operate without central intermediaries. Okay. Stablecoin. Stablecoin changed the face of cryptocurrency, and we are today where we are because stablecoins were introduced. It's a type of cryptocurrency designed to have a stable value, and it's tied to fiat currency. So it's tied to the dollar, in other words. What is HODL? Well, I thought that a HODL was hold spelt wrong. Well, it kind of is. A slang term meaning hold your crypto rather than selling it. Hold your crypto rather than selling it. Originates with misspelling of hold. Okay, so I love that. Okay, DYOR, do your own research. A reminder in crypto investing to verify information yourself, because it is. It can be the wild, wild west at times. It's getting so much more safe and so much more better, but you want to verify everything yourself, okay? Cold storage and hard wallet, storing crypto offline in a device to reduce hacking risk. Again, remember, guys, my first cold storage wallet was from Bobby Gray. It was a cold storage coin. Bobby Gray is the owner of our company, Texit Coin, and he was the founder of cold storage coins. Well, we've had trainings on here about cold storage wallets, so go and reference those. Mining, the process of which transactions are verified and added to the blockchain, and new coins are created in some systems. Warmest regards, Texit Ranger Thomas Dubois. We'll get that on this glossary. Sarah has another glossary that we'll add as well. But let's just do a little something here. Let's watch a couple of videos. And I'm going to start this and stop it. And then, Andrea, if you could unmute real quick and let me know that you guys can hear it okay. So just 1 second. Let's.
Okay, this is a big one to cover.
Loud and clear.
Pardon me?
Loud and clear. Hear
Okay.
and see it.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much for that. Let's go ahead and back that up just a minute in case she said something important. Okay, so guys, a couple examples here of these videos. This is made from Binance, obviously, right? So these exchanges have tons of videos and tons of stuff made for you. And this is 5 minutes. And watch how much great information that you get from her. If you have pen and paper out, have it, man, because it's worthy. So
one to cover, but let's try. Welcome to crypto in under 5 minutes. So first and foremost, crypto is digital money. Most people use it just as they use traditional government issued money or fiat. It's used to send money to family and friends abroad, invest in assets they think may increase in value, to purchase things. So as much as people may initially find crypto crypto complicated, it's not all that different from traditional money or stocks and shares. Now, what is notably different is that there are no banks or middlemen involved. So how does this work? Well, instead of a bank managing transactions, everything is recorded on a big digital ledger. Think of it as one giant spreadsheet, visible to everyone, and is called the blockchain. Each time someone sends or receives crypto, the transaction is verified by a distributed network of computers. They all agree on the details and timestamp it, reaching consensus together.
Oops.
One authority. This is what makes crypto secure, transparent, and decentralized, a money system that runs on code and community, not banks and borders. Now, whereas you would normally hold your money with a bank, with crypto, you can custody your assets yourself in a digital wallet and move funds internationally in minutes, not days. Of course, with self-custody, you are solely responsible for your crypto. Many people, when they start out, use an exchange such as Binance to hold their crypto, so they have a centralized entity holding custody. For many, this is a reassuring route. If you lose or forget your password, you can reset it. If you hold your assets in a crypto wallet and forget or lose your seed phrase, which is your wallet password, you lose access to your crypto as you are the only person in charge of your assets. Now, here is where things get really interesting. Not all blockchains are the same. Bitcoin was built to move money without banks and ended up becoming an effective store of value due to its limited supply, while others like Ethereum, Solana, Sui, Cardano, and many others are designed to be programmable. There are many different blockchains, and think of them like various operating systems like Microsoft or Apple. Businesses and projects can build on top of them, apps, games, and marketplaces. A hot topic at the moment are real-world assets. Think real estate, physical art, or cars, real assets, but with their ownership or title deeds committed to the blockchain, transparent and trackable. Blockchains like Ethereum, Solana, and Cardano each have their own native currency, ETH, Sol, and ADA, which are used to power the network and pay for transactions. But it doesn't stop there. Many apps and projects built on top of these blockchains also launch their own tokens, which operate within that ecosystem. So while ETH is the main currency on Ethereum, thousands of other tokens also run on it, like currencies within the app, using ETH behind the scenes to function. Think of the blockchain as the platform, its native token as the fuel, and the app tokens as the in-game or in-app currencies built on top. And here's why people invest in them. When you buy crypto assets, you're not just buying digital money, you're essentially buying a stake in that ecosystem. Think of it like this. Bitcoin is increasingly seen as a store of value. Altcoins, which are all the other crypto assets aside from Bitcoin, power the systems being built, like owning shares in the future of the web. People believe that as more developers build on these platforms, more users will follow, and the demand for those native coins will also grow. So just like stocks will rise when a company performs well, crypto tokens can rise when a blockchain gains adoption. That is why people invest, not just to trade, but also because they believe in the technology, the growth, and also the potential of these networks to power a new kind of internet. So then there are stablecoins. Stablecoins like USDC, USD1, and USDT are cryptocurrencies pegged to the US dollar, and they are very important. Say you've invested in a crypto asset that has seen some price volatility, not out of the ordinary for crypto. You may wish to lock in gains at a particular price. Stablecoins allow you to essentially exit the market into a dollar value. Then you would sell those stablecoins for fiat currency if you wish to move the value back into traditional money. So what is crypto? Crypto is the financial system as we know it, reinvented for the internet age and giving you more control over your finances. Whether you're an institution diversifying investments for clients or whether someone is just trying to send money home to family, it reinvents the very idea of value and ownership for everyone across gaming, sports, entertainment, fashion art, real estate, and much more. And yes, we are still
Oops. Didn't mean to do that.
very early. Well, that is all for the video, but we hope you enjoyed it. Maybe share it with someone that will also find it useful. This is Jessica signing off.
I will post these so that you can do exactly that. Share terminology, share everything. with all of your new people. I think that what I put together here would be something that you might send to anybody new joining us, or if they just need to learn about crypto. So let's go into, we're going to do 2 more videos because they're real short like that. And I think they're all different informational. Like this one has some technical crypto terms explained in plain English. Are you ready for that one? I know I need this one. Here we go.
On August 22nd, I told viewers that the road to artificial general intelligence was already bringing massive changes to society and disrupting industries around the world. And to take advantage, I recommend.
As a crypto user, you may have to learn your ABCs, including technical mumbo-jumbo that you may encounter in project white papers, websites, or even social media. So sit back as we break down some of the most common technical
Oops, I'm sorry.
terms in the industry, starting with node. A blockchain node is essentially any computer or device that is connected and participating in the network. These nodes perform functions such as storing data, validating transactions, and securing the blockchain, and can join the network from anywhere on the globe with an internet connection, which is what allows blockchains to be decentralized. So when Albert sends his friend Dennis 1 BTC, Albert's and other users' transactions will be added to the blockchain and broadcasted to every node so that all of them can update their database in the same way. Next up, we have a closely related term, that is, client. At its core, a client is a software that connects to and interacts with the nodes in the blockchain network. A crypto wallet is a great example of a software client, and they have other use cases. For example, if Albert has a computer and wants to take part in validating BTC transactions, he'll need to download a BTC software client that will essentially transform his computer into a node that participates in Bitcoin's network. Speaking of wallets, you may have come across the abbreviation RPC when interacting with your MetaMask wallet. RPC stands for Remote Procedure Call and is basically a communication facilitator such that it will allow a client like MetaMask to communicate with the blockchain to perform operations like viewing a balance, creating a transaction, and so on. One way you can think about RPCs is like your internet service provider. When you use a wallet on default settings, transaction speeds could be slower, as most users share the same RPC provider. However, you can actually switch to custom or paid RPC providers for better performance. Next up, we have state. You can think of state as your age, in that you can be either 20 or 30, but not both. In crypto, state describes the contents of the blockchain at a particular instant in time. So for Bitcoin, state can entail the number of Bitcoins that exist, what account holds them, transfers being made, and so on in a given instant. Last but not least, we have the virtual machine. You probably often hear of EVM, which stands for Ethereum Virtual Machine. But what is a virtual machine? As the name suggests, a virtual machine is a virtual computer that uses software instead of physical hardware to run programs or deploy apps, and so can have its own operating system, memory, and so forth, which is separate from the physical device that it's run on. So, for example, in the case of the Ethereum blockchain, all smart contracts are deployed and run by participating nodes, which run its virtual machine, the EVM. Drop any other common technical crypto terms you'd like to know about in the comments.
Woo-woo-woo! No, how do I get out of here? Okay, there we go.
Do you remember the moment when crypto started making sense to you? For me, it was when I realized that there was much more to cryptocurrency than...
Okay. So obviously from there, like in YouTube, it'll take you to other cryptocurrency recordings and whatnot. So that's where I gathered all of these. So focusing specifically on terms and definitions in the crypto space. This will be the last one. Are you ready?
Hello traders, in this video we're going to introduce the Smart AI Indicator, which we developed in partnership with OpenAI. This indicator delivers AI.
Hey folks, Joe DeSanto here. Thank you for joining me in another video. So, wanted to make a short video just talking about some clarification
Oops, I do.
of terminologies. cryptocurrency in the whole world can be confusing because there are a lot of terms that are used either interchangeably or incorrectly interchangeably. I think the main terms that are thrown around that could use some clarification for people are, one, cryptocurrency in general, that term versus digital currency, and are those two things the same? Coins and, more specifically altcoins, the term blockchain in general and like how it's different, than cryptocurrency, or like, where it fits into the whole concept. So let's start out with cryptocurrency, and cryptocurrency and digital currency. So cryptocurrency, is, Bitcoin's a cryptocurrency, right? So a currency meaning we are assigning it value, not unlike the dollar. We believe that the dollar has value because we believe it. We believe that it's backed by the U.S. government, and that means something. But it's no longer backed by a physical asset. So there really is it is a kind of a trust system. Bitcoin's no different. Bitcoin, basically, there is no particularly value for Bitcoin except people think it's valuable and people are willing to use it as a store of value these days. So it's a, currency to a degree, just like, the dollar's a currency. However, to be a cryptocurrency, or that getting that moniker means that it is created, exchanged, traded, and a record of it is kept using blockchain technology, which essentially blockchain has an element of cryptography in it, which makes it difficult to alter, essentially alter, I guess, alter the record thereof. So if it's a cryptocurrency of any kind, it's utilizing some kind of blockchain technology. A digital currency is kind of a strange term in that digital currency kind of has existed. You could say that digital currency is when you have a record of currency you own that's in digital form. Like, your bank balance is in digital form because you go log in and you look at it, and really a record of it is kept, on the bank's, computer system. And essentially what's assigning the fact that you have money in your bank account is a digital version of our currency. However, it's not a US based, digital coin or US based cryptocurrency. Those things are potentially in the making by every, government currently. Like, should we turn what we now use as a dollar, should there be a digital coin version of that we can have in a digital wallet and go buy things with? Whereas right now, essentially, you have to use a bank, really, I guess, in order to buy things with your digital version of your currency holdings. So interesting, kind of distinction there, particularly with understanding what is a digital currency. But I guess more specifically there, we know that a cryptocurrency is a currency that relies at least on blockchain technology to exist, be traded, and its value be assigned to one person or another. That does lead into the question of, well, what is blockchain technology? I have another video about Bitcoin and blockchain and so on, so if you want a little bit more in depth about that. But blockchain is essentially the technology, or the ecosystem, I like to even say, on which something like a Bitcoin lives. And it's gotten more confusing over time because originally, when it was just Bitcoin, blockchain was the technology that allowed us to go mine the Bitcoin, I guess, out of what, the blockchain algorithms or whatever. But then also the blockchain is essentially a record. You could think about it as like a giant spreadsheet that has all the information about who owns this Bitcoin and who owns this Bitcoin and who traded this Bitcoin to whom, who's mining the Bitcoin, how much should they mine, all that information. You could just I like to think about it on a giant spreadsheet, but that spreadsheet is held on thousands of validator computers that are on the ecosystem. And it is a technology that is basically hard to infiltrate, hard to change. It, with all the different validators, you have basically a record that's open to the public that anyone can see and anyone can tap into if you know what you're doing using the blockchain explorer. So the blockchain is the ecosystem under which, the cryptocurrency is created, shared, exchanged, traded, bought, sold, and so on. So the blockchain itself is not the currency. The currency is essentially the coin that is mined and then traded and shared and so on. So the last thing I wanted to mention is altcoins. So altcoins are confusing because you're like, well, is Bitcoin a cryptocurrency or is it a coin? Or the term coin is essentially, I guess, almost the symbol of the cryptocurrency. So Bitcoin is a cryptocurrency. It's a currency that lives on a blockchain, so that's why it gets to be called a cryptocurrency. But essentially it's represented in coins, 1, 2, 3, 4 coins, 1 Bitcoin, 2 Bitcoin, 3 Bitcoin. Now it's kind of funny because you can buy like 0.0000124, like fraction of a coin. So it's like one coin is very rarely traded like a penny would be, but that essentially the term coin still relates to Bitcoin. Now after Bitcoin came Litecoin and then Ethereum and then a whole bunch of other quote unquote coins. We tend to use the term altcoins to represent every other coin besides Bitcoin. And I mean, that really, it's kind of makes it a bit of a useless term because, it's just like altcoins, anything that's not Bitcoin. But it is kind of, even though I don't think it was like, meant to really just, have only that meaning, there is a pretty great distinction at this point between Bitcoin and altcoins because Bitcoin really was built and designed just to be a currency, and the blockchain network and technology that's built on, was only really meant to do that. Ethereum came along essentially and said, hey, this is cool technology. We could do more things with this, but we really can't do more things with this version of this cool technology. We're going to go make our own cool version of this technology, our own blockchain. And on it, we're going to make it so you can have smart contracts or add additional functionality, additional sets of instructions, additional use cases for this whole ledger and validator system of technology. And the altcoin, essentially craze started from there. So altcoins can be anything from blockchains themselves, new ecosystems that are different than the Bitcoin blockchain, like Ethereum, like Solana, like Polkadot. But then they can also, anybody can make a coin. You can make a coin for yourself, and you would be an altcoin. I don't know if anyone would buy the coin that represents you. Maybe they would, maybe they wouldn't. But now a lot of the coins, that technically you could say are a cryptocurrency, they're really more like stocks in the ecosystem, the blockchain ecosystem that is, Ethereum or Solana or whatever. Those are almost like the markets where we're trading these stocks, kind of like the public stock market. So it's kind of evolved into being a little bit like that. And a lot of these coins that I would say are stocks, it's like these are companies that are trying to create new use cases, new companies, and that can utilize the blockchain for interesting purposes. And a lot's happening in the video game space. There's now a lot happening in the AI space. I mean, there's stuff happening in real estate space. Every sector of our world is looking at the blockchain ecosystem technologies to do either existing things that we do, but do them better, more efficiently, whatever, or do new things. And that whole thing has become known as Web 3.0. It's almost like a new internet that is based on blockchain technology that allows us to do all these new functions, that'll be beneficial for us, and potentially new products, even new inventions, whatever. That can take advantage of this interesting technology that Bitcoin, I feel like, inadvertently created Web 3.0. I don't know that they were setting out to do that, but invention is built on top of invention is built on top of invention, and Web 3.0 essentially, I guess, an invention that came out of the blockchain ecosystem that Bitcoin was created with and to exist within. So there you go. I hope that helped clarify some things. Who knows? Maybe it just created more questions for you. But that would make sense because there's so many interesting things to learn about the cryptocurrency Web 3.0 world that we are now starting to live in. So let me know if you have any questions. And
So for beginners, so as you can see there as well, that he has multiple videos for beginners, and so those are 3 videos that I pulled together. That was a glossary at the beginning that I pulled together that I will post on WhatsApp. Then there is about 10 more videos that I put together that I'm just going to put in one place. So it's all going to go on WhatsApp. Or ask me for it and I'll get it to you. So I hope that today on some basics of crypto, some terminology, some basic rundown of the blockchain space with some videos was helpful to you. I know that it was very helpful for me, and I've been in this space for a long time, but I'm learning how to use the terminology correct because I'm not always using it correctly, and I thought I was. So take 5 minutes a day to go and watch something on YouTube. Take 5 minutes a day to ask AI to help you out, whatever the case may be. Okay, so I hope that was helpful. I will say I got a couple of things to go over, and but I'll wait for those for a minute, because on anything that you've just watched or that we might be able to help with, if you want to raise your hand, I don't have the chat wide open, I don't think. But if you want to raise your hand, or if you have any questions, today was for the brand new person to crypto. And so if this training will help to have 3 videos concisely together, a glossary together, and all of that to send to somebody, we will be posting the recording shortly. But anybody have any questions or anything about the basics of crypto that we're sharing today? Okay. As of tomorrow, we might be training on Uphold tomorrow. We're not exactly sure for sure, but we do know on Tuesday that we're doing all-in-one inclusive crypto.com training with a little bit of emphasis. Just kind of putting Andrea's trainings all together in one. So expect that to be awesome on Tuesday. Tuesday through Friday, we're doing this, but tomorrow we'll be here. A couple of things. Want to say congratulations once again to Mancon Shanonacon, Mr. AJ, as a new Texit Ranger. So I want to talk about, since it's Thursday, well, let me let Esther go ahead and unmute yourself, Miss Esther, and ask away.
Okay, well, this is exposing my ignorance, but I'm just wondering, with all these different nodes or computers that are out there with the blockchain inventory or information, what is the security system that's in place to, I mean, we know how hard it can be to just work together one-on-one, but this looks like a whole host of people who have the same information. How do we know that one of those people aren't going to, like steal the info or run with it, or, what's the security thing in place?
Sure. Well, of course, each ecosystem. Can we get some help with muting others, please? So each ecosystem is going to have their own security systems in place. You as well can have your own security systems in place. Cold storage wallet that was very temporarily talked about, that is a system in place. We just went through in Texit Coin a little bit of security things that will also but it's meant to be an open ledger for everybody to be able to see everybody's information and everybody's transaction. But cold storage wallets is a personal way to go offline where that somebody can't get to your information or your whatnot. And most of the blockchain technology has built-in securities per Ethereum, per Tron, per Bitcoin. But Herschel says things way better than me. So Herschel, go ahead and unmute and give it to us.
Hey, good morning, everyone. You know, it's actually, I'm glad you asked that question the way you asked the question, simply because the fact that a copy of everything that takes place on the blockchain is distributed amongst a whole bunch of people. Imagine if, and I'll try to use an analogy, let's say 1,000,000 people were in the same room and Thomas told me that the sky was blue. And everybody, all 1,000,000 people heard Thomas say the sky was blue. And tomorrow I come back and say, yesterday, Thomas told me the sky was green. Because everybody, a whole 1,000,000 people was in that room that heard Thomas say the sky was blue. I'm this outlier over here saying something different than 1,000,000 people. Those 1,000,000 people validate that Thomas said it was blue, which means no one person, no 2 or 3 people can actually come together and tell a lie, tell a story, which makes the blockchain trustless. You don't have to trust people anymore. The system, by nature of design, protects itself. That's the security. Now, what Thomas was saying, there's another type of security to protect your assets within that you have on a particular network. But the fact that everything is open for everyone in the world to see it on chain, and the fact that, like, we as miners or have hash on the Texit blockchain, we are the ones supporting and we are the security. Our hash validates those transactions so that no one can say it's not true. That's what I got.
Love it, love it, love it, love it. Teamwork makes the dream work. And I hope that. Whoops, sorry, just 1 second. Let me. I'm trying to get out of this screen so I can copy and paste some things for you guys and get them in the chat as well. So I'll be trying to do that for you here. Give me 1 second. Okay. Okay. Any other questions before I go on to some announcements and whatnot? I'd love to try to help anybody or anything or any comments or any whatever the case may be. I'm gonna be pasting a few things here. Let's see if they are helpful. So I'll give it just a second for people to raise their hands if they'd like to. Let's do that. Let's try that again. I didn't think that. And let me get to my glossary. We're going to post the glossary real quick. And by the way, we're going to take this glossary and add it to the glossary that Sarah already has. And we'll get that out to you too, after she gets through this weekend and stuff, because I know that she had a glossary she had talked about the other day. Let me do this. Any other leader want to come on and say anything or do anything? Let's do that. Oh, this is too many words, it says. Let me try to eliminate some words here, and maybe we will okay, that's not going to work. Okay, get them from me later because there's just too much verbiage on the glossary to post in the chat. for now, so we'll do that. Today was on the basics of crypto. I hope it was helpful. Let me now go into a couple of announcements. Guys, we're very, very excited about a couple things. I want to share with you something that I'm going to put together a video for the Texit Rangers for here in just a minute. But back, many people that know me in the beginning days of being successful, we used to do a thing called New Year's kickoffs. I am going to bring that to the Texit Ranger stream today to try to set a date in the beginning of January, which it makes sense to me to be the Saturday of the 9th, to where we put a bunch of events around the country. I don't know if it's going to be accepted or not, but I'm going to do a personal video today, and you guys are the first ones to hear that I'm gonna do a New Year's kickoff, and that I'm gonna try to get people to do New Year's kickoffs in their areas. So think about that. That on the same day, everybody saying, get to the nearest event by you. Okay, all for New Year's kickoffs, all on the same day. And I don't know if they're going to accept it, guys. I'm going to introduce it today, but then possibly Bobby can record New Year's kickoff little 20-minute presentation that everybody can play at their individual kickoff. And so Bobby can be in every single place giving us a message, and then we can also do training and new person presentation to kick off the new year. So planning that from now through to the first quarter of 2026. That is my plan, to introduce that today to the Texit Rangers and try to get that accepted company wide. Now, the first Saturday of New Year's is the 2nd. And guys, I don't think it's a good idea to do the 2nd. Why? Or the 3rd, or whatever it is. I got to look at a calendar. But why? That runs into the full weekend, right? And so I think that people will be having plans with family and taking advantage of that rather than wanting to be in an event on that Saturday. So the following Saturday to do a Texit Coin New Year's kickoff, because guys, right now Bobby's told us that it's crucial time to put in and sponsor and go after building this company as much as you can. It's very, very important for many, many reasons that right now, by February, if we put somebody in before January, or if we put somebody, I mean, we're at the beginning of November. So I'm talking about 3 months away planning. So over the next quarter, if you're putting people in, they will get to participate in the Gold to 16. You guys know that the Gold to 16 is in February. For that to happen, we got to keep growing our ecosystem. We got to keep growing our community. We have to sell seats on the rocket ship, as Corey and Sarah will say so well. Okay, so we got to do that. So for this week, what's the deadlines to get the job done? What's the deadlines for this weekend? Every single week, I cheat the deadlines a little bit. Are you ready? What should, and last week was big proof of this, and I'll tell you why in just a second without using names. But for me, deadline for putting a new person in, for me, okay, and what I teach is Friday, okay? Friday. You should do everything in your power if you have somebody to put in to get them in by end of day Friday. Why is that? On Saturday, we are making fixes to the genealogy. The back office is fixing problems to make sure maybe somebody didn't get an email, maybe whatever. But fixes have to happen by noon Central Time on Saturdays. Okay. So for me, if I only have one day to make fixes in this comp plan, I call Friday the deadline for putting people in. Now, is it the deadline for putting people in? Absolutely not. If you're using crypto and you're not using peer payments, anything that you put in up to, follow me here, up to 6 o'clock. Okay. Anything you put into 6 o'clock on Saturday with cryptocurrency, 6 o'clock Central, will be counted for this week's business. It's actually 7, but guys, remember, you're going to always hear me cheat it. And so you should cheat it with your people. Okay. Why should you cheat it with your people? Because last week we had somebody putting in multiple people on Saturday, and there was multiple things that were done incorrectly there, and we had to fight and battle the whole entire day. We couldn't not focus on it. It took 4 hours to help this individual because they waited till last minute. Are you following me here? And so let's not be last minute team builders. Let's not try to have stress every Saturday. So let's get everybody in by Friday. That's what I say. And that way, if we have some fixes, we can play with them on Saturday a little bit, right? Okay, so the real deadline for anybody with crypto is 7 o'clock on Saturday Central Time. But what does Tommy Boy say? 6 o'clock. Okay, so we have that. Guys, Denver International Airport, I don't know when, but it's going to be saturated, just like Dallas, just like San Antonio, just like Florida. And so get ready. Texit Coin is going to plaster Denver International Airport. Now, it hasn't happened yet. So until it happens, it's just an announcement. If it doesn't happen, things fall through sometimes, right? And so, but I believe that Bobby said that is imminent. So I'm very, very excited about that. Since I live 2.5 hours from Denver, I grew up in Denver, and we will be having our New Year's kickoff in Denver for this guy. So that's where we will have, most likely at the Holiday Inn on 285 in Wadsworth on January 9th. I haven't booked that yet either. So I want to get some acceptance. That's why I'm announcing it 2 months early to the Rangers today. So I'm actually going to do a video to the Rangers telling them exactly what you already heard this morning and saying, hey, will you guys get on board with this? I think this is a great idea to launch into 2026 because I've done it for most of my team building life, is planned ahead and created across the country. My main success came out of a company for 15 years, and every year we did a New Year's kickoff. And I think it's a great way to look forward to a meeting and then to launch a meeting right after the holidays when we need to replenish those funds, when we need to get some more money. So guys, we are right around the corner from Christmas. I want to talk about that in 6 hours' time, just by opening my mouth about this company, I made $3,000, and then by the end of the next day, I made another $1,000 because I didn't know about how to work the system at that point. But just by opening my mouth to a few people, I made $3,000 in 6 hours. Guys, if we can help somebody to make $3,000 in a week's time over the next 2 months, we can make it so everybody that we know does not have to put Christmas on a credit card. Everybody that we know does not have to be stressed through the holidays. Everybody that I know can be at Thanksgiving dinner, and at Thanksgiving dinner, they can go around the table and say what they're thankful for, and they can be thankful that they've already paid for Christmas because of Texit Coin. Whew! I'm getting emotional on that one. Whew! Guys, I'm a Santa Claus dad. You know, I made some bad mistakes. I'm a recovered addict, and here in another 2 weeks, I celebrate 24 years of sobriety, and I wasn't always the greatest dad. And so now I'm a Santa Claus dad, and I'm a really good dad. I'm a really good grandpa, boy. I'm telling you what, I grandpa up like nobody's business. And those grandkids all own mines, and they're getting rich. So that's absolutely incredible. Esther, 970-987-2632. 970-987-2632. That's my number for everybody. Okay. But that's emotional to me to know that I don't have to worry about Christmas. Okay, guys. Matter of fact, my daughter sends me a list, and it's a whole bunch of links to Amazon, and I put them all in the cart this time. I put them all in the cart. They've already been sent. They're gift wrapped and they've been sent. Why? Because my daughter's young and they want to do a Christmas just in their household, in their living room, like I did when I grew up. And I'm so happy that they're doing that and excited. Me and my wife gonna have some special Christmas up here in the mountains. If it's too early to think about Christmas, how about thinking about blessing other people's Christmas instead of, maybe it's not for you, okay, but it is for most of the people that we know. And how about being that blessing? You can't do that at the end of December. See, we can't wait on this. We got to do it now. Okay, we got to do it now. We got to get people in now. $1,000 would pay for many people's Christmas. That is easy. That's a 3 and 3, folks. That is easy money here. Okay. Everybody remember also this is very important because somebody got affected by this. And Andrea, you can unmute anytime you want if you have something to add. But let me do this real quick before I forget. Everybody go to help.mindtxc.com and put in what is cash potential and understand cash potential. It's actually now called, what's it called, Andrea? Do you know?
Commission potential.
Commission potential. Because somebody, it didn't get paid because they didn't understand commission potential. And I don't want that to happen no more, guys. So please go understand it, okay? It's very, 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 very important. Oh, and Sarah just made a point. We're at 4,500 people, guys. That means by the end of this week, most likely, or by the end of next week for sure, that BOGO is going away. So buy one, get one free will not be there for new people coming in after that point. Everybody else is grandfathered in, of course. But Andrea, you had something to say. I know you did.
Oh, you were talking about making Christmas. They're talking saving Christmas in Dallas, and here in our community, what Mark and I decided we were doing, we're taking a couple $100 from our commissions every week with Texit, and we're actually getting a shopping cart and getting toys from babies to teenage years, and we're filling the grocery cart up because my husband is a Knights of Columbus and they're doing a toy drive for the children who can't, for families who can't afford Thanksgiving or Christmas. So we decided we're gonna fill as many boxes as we can using Texit to save their Christmas this year. So that's what we're doing in our area. And
go ahead.
Texit is blessing so many lives, and I'm just seeing the lives that are changing. It's helped my family, it's helped Thomas's, it's helped yours, but the people you're bringing in, just imagine what it's doing for them. If it's doing it for you, imagine what it's really changing on them. So this is the perfect time, the perfect opportunity to bless many of your families. My brother, the 8+ years I've been in crypto, would never hear about it. He's joined me on this journey, and you heard Thomas's excitement about his brother. My brother called me 2 days ago and signed my nephew up for his birthday, which is today. So we're blessing lives, and there's some that don't even know how big this project really is because they're being blessed by us. So I just want to say this is the time, this is the season to keep blessing.
Hey, so Sarah knows my situation, and she didn't hear. I don't think she was on yet when I said that my big brother's getting in. So he's getting into, he's in already. I already put him in. So very, very exciting. I know that's I want to share that with Sarah, so I'll just share it on here. So that's very, very exciting and very fun. He's got a lot to learn, and he's going through a lot right now. But
congratulations.
Isn't that cool, huh, Sarah? Thank you. Also, guys, just another last story, and we'll end with this because it's time. We're gonna do this tomorrow. Remember, Andrea's gonna come. Andrea's gonna talk to somebody, maybe do an uphold training tomorrow. If not, I will put something else together. But we're doing this Tuesday through Friday. I hope the basics helped you today. January 9th is what I'm shooting for on the kickoff, so keep that in mind. Remember the deadlines for each week and cheat the deadlines so that you're not late, okay? Cash Potential, go and check out Cash Potential. You must do. Look for events in your area. Congratulations to AJ. That's a recap of everything that we covered on here today. I will post the videos that I shared. I will post other lists of videos on WhatsApp. I will post that glossary that I shared today, and so you'll have all of that. But the story that I'll end with is this: is my daughter's 36, I believe, and has 3 children and 3 young children. And guess what? You know, just the other day, this was just the end of last week when she gave me that list for me to buy gifts. She said, we have everything figured out for ourselves, and you know, they have quite a bit of Texit coin, probably at least $10,000 worth for them, which is a huge deal. And they said, we just need to cash out about 500 of it to probably make everything that we want to have a great Christmas. And guess what? They sold $500 worth, and so my kids and my grandkids, because of Texit coin, are 2 months ahead of time, planned out and ready for Christmas. I wish that was my case at 36. I wish that was my case at 36. It was not my case at 36. I love you guys. I want the best for you. I want great holidays for you. And I want abundance and success into your day today and into your future. And I say all of that in my Savior's name, Jesus Christ. Everybody have an awesome, awesome, awesome day. And we're going to end the recording there. We'll get the recording posted here shortly.